Again, I just want to greet my fellow Liberians from all over the world, Europe, UK, North America, South America, wherever you live as Liberians. I want to speak to you before the protest tomorrow, June 7, 2019. As we know, we understand protest sometime when the citizens or civilians don't feel pleased with any government around the world. They come together to assemble and have a peaceful protest. As you know, my fellow Liberians, it is also written in the Constitution that our people have the right to protest. But this evening, I just want to speak to you on how do we carry on a protest and how can we protect the peace and stability we have in Liberia that all Liberians are enjoying, despite the situation, despite the economy going down the drain, despite you might feel that government is not doing what they need to do to make sure the citizens of Liberia are doing great. But as a friend and a brother, a father, I'm coming to speak to my people and advise my people, reminding them of peace and war. Now it is up to you to choose your battle. So today we basically going to be talking about breaking down war and peace. And the topic we're going to be speaking on today will be, we have come a long way to go back to zero. My fellow Liberians, let us remember, we are protesting tomorrow. This protest was organized by the Council of Patriots. We all understand that. But sometimes there are different motives behind protest depending on how we approach the protest. So this afternoon we're going to be speaking to war and peace, addressing the topic, we have come a long way to go back to zero. United we stand, divided we fall. So I'll be speaking on those details and giving you information on how to proceed tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to mark a history. So before we even speak to the protest, I want you to stay tuned. Right after this musical break, we're going to start. Thank you.
Hello, Liberians. Now listen to me. They come here again. Nobody should fool you and go demonstrate in the streets. We don't want no more war in Liberia. Liberians, ladies and gentlemen, Liberians, my fellow Liberians, they're starting again. They come here again. They're starting again. My people, they come here again. Yes, they come here again. When they see Liberia developing, that's the time they can bring war. That's what they can do. They don't want to see what they come in Liberia. They don't want to see Liberia developing. When they see it, then they want to start to air. When they come in, then they want to bring palava to stop it. They will not succeed. I said they will not succeed. Their evil plan they have. To destroy Liberia. To divide Liberians. To bring war in Liberia. Calling people to march. Calling people on the street to demonstrate. First fool is no fool. Second fool then you mumu. They did it before. They waste their time. They people, they damage our country. They come here again. They come here again. They will not succeed. Oh, I don't care what they do. They will not succeed. We feeling no about them. They will not succeed. They will not succeed. They will not succeed. Everybody, everybody, everybody. They will not succeed. Everybody, everybody, everybody. They will not succeed. Oh yes. They will not succeed. I won't hear you say they will not succeed. When you love Liberia and you don't want no more war in Liberia, let me hear you. Tell them, they will not succeed. They will not succeed. They will not succeed. Yeah, Igbo plan they have. They will not succeed. Yeah, Igbo plan they have. They will not succeed. They don't want Liberia to develop. They will not succeed. They always want confusion in Liberia. They will not succeed. They will not succeed. They will not succeed. Winston Pekajion, play my solo. Ablow, nothing straight. African soil, smooth. The Kalu man, Bassa boy, the Bassa king. Busa. Two-Face, my people, you watch out for them. They come here again. They start here again. They come here again. They start here again. That's what they can do. That's what they can do. When they come here, they will say they are freedom fighters. They are liberators. They like Liberians. They come here again. My people, they start here again. Five food is no food. Seven food, then you move. They did it before. They will say our tongue. They care our people. They damage our country. My people, they come here again. They will not succeed. We feeling no about them. They will not succeed. I don't care how they lie. We're not listening to them. They bailing our roads. They want us start to end. They will not succeed. They bailing our country. They won't bring confusion. They will not succeed. They will not succeed. Oh, I don't care what they do. They will not succeed. Only go fire on all those that don't want Liberia to develop. I said they will not succeed. They will not succeed. Their evil plan they have. They will not succeed. To destroy Liberia. They will not succeed. To divide Liberians. They will not succeed. To bring war in Liberia.
Again, we are back into the studio, my fellow Liberians. This one place, one voice is where Liberia meet other nationalities around the continent of Africa to promote peace, love, and unity. So as we go for the protest tomorrow, I just want to speak to our fellow brothers and sisters around the world and wherever you are listening to my voice this evening. I want to let you know that a protest is good for us to exercise as people, provided if the protest is very peaceful, and when the citizens is well protected when it comes to safety by the government. But I want to let my fellow Liberians to understand that we have come a long way from tribalisms to war, 14 years civil war. Our children suffered the war. They were victimized without no education. So we discovered that the educational gap, it was widening between our children throughout the war. And I strongly believe as adults, we should be focusing mostly on building our children's future instead of trying to form a so-called political party with selfish interest motives to take over leadership to once more do nothing in the country. We understand that you have planned for the protest tomorrow, June 7, 2019. We want to come on the media to ask the government to give a maximum protection to the citizens. Make sure that no one should be allowed to incite any violence in the country. As you can see, for the past few days, there have been a lot going on. So that just to simplify to us that we should take caution when we protest tomorrow. I just thought I'd say that first before I go into details this evening. But there's a quote from James Madison. It was a political observations 1795. He quoted, and I said, of all the enemies to the public, liberty war is perhaps the most to be dreaded because it comprises and develops the germ of every other. War is the parent of armies. From these proceed debts and tax, known instruments for bringing the many under the denomination of the few. No nation could preserve its freedom in the mind of continual warfare. Folks, I want us to understand that we are all Liberians. We understand our problem. I stay strongly believe and convinced that we can resolve our problem by coming together to sit on the round table and see if we can contribute our ideas to see how we can better Liberia. We understand, and we got the problem already. We know what's going on. We understand there's a lot of corruption going on. Things are going on that you might not be satisfied. But remember, the essence of history is to rectify a current situation. I will say it again. The essence of history is to take a look, very good, to rectify current condition or current situation that going on so that you can make correction and move forward. Based on that note, when is a war just? For almost 2,000 years, the question of when Christians should go to war has been hotly debated. Since the taking of human life is so seriously opposed to gospel values, warfare has always presented a serious moral dilemma in the Middle Age. Just war theory alone, not to justify why are we fighting among ourselves. Why are we limiting ourselves? When we can come together and put together as brothers and sisters to build such a successful country, to build such an economy, why should it be in the mind that when it is not me, it can be you? Why should we continue fighting, brothers and sisters? When we can come together and put our broken pieces together and resolve our problem and move forward. I want to let you know, all Liberians around the globe that listening to my voice, that it's about time that we contribute our ideas towards the current situation. As we go through the protest tomorrow, there are some things that I want you to take into consideration, my fellow Liberians. We have come a long way to go back to zero. United we stand, divided we fall. The criteria set out for the just war. They include the cause must be just. It must be undertaken by a legitimate authority. The intention must be right. It must be a least resort or resort. There must be a declaration of war. There must be a reasonable hope of success. The good that it hopes to achieve must outweigh the evil produced. That is the criteria of proportionality. Non-combatants must be immune. So we want to understand exactly where we came from and where we are going. My fellow Liberians, my fellow brothers and sisters, the children, the youth of Liberia, our mothers and fathers, I want you to understand, as people talk to you, use your conscience, use your conviction. Do not be misled by little of nothing to get in the street, to destroy yourself because of the so-called politician, selfish interest, or motive to do what they intend to do. In the history, we have not seen someone that came over to change our Liberians' lives. The question remains, who can we trust then to bring us wealth, to bring us peace, to bring us stability in the land of Liberia? As I speak to you, Liberia continues to cry because we have not realized as people on the planet Earth how to sit down to settle our differences. So we remain in conflicts. We remain in things that we shouldn't really engage in, when we can take our problem and conceptualize the problem and come together as one people to resolve our problem. When we continue fighting one another, we're going to experience the increased spending before and even during global economic crisis. Because domestically we are going through economic crisis. The people of Liberia, some are enjoying and some are in a dire poverty that cannot afford to find food to eat. Imagine a man live on Earth planet, don't have no job to do. What do you expect of that man to do? But I want to let you know that the global financial and economic crisis has resulted in many nations cutting back on all sorts of public spending, often against criticizing of targeting sector that were not responsible for that crisis. And yet, military spending seems to be increasing. How is that justified? Let's think about that for a minute. Spending for peace versus spending for war. Why should we continue to fight one another? What damage are we causing to ourselves as Liberians? Have we forgotten the history that was yesterday? Have we forgotten that we lost over 250,000 people already? So my challenge to you as leaders, despite the current situation, is there any other mechanism that we can put in place to bring our people together with understanding? I will recommend you protecting the safety of the civilians and the citizens, no matter what going on they want to march, you should show concerns of what going on in the country in order for us to correct the situation. It's not war. It's not counter-reaction towards your people. There is a large gap between what countries are prepared to allocate for military means to provide security and maintain their global and regional power status, on the other hand, and to elevate poverty and promote economic development on the other. Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Are we searching for peace, or are we calling for war? Do we want history to repeat itself? But I want to let you know, my fellow Liberians, if you choose for history to repeat itself, then I think we are living from 100 and coming down to 0. And which is not a good feeling. As leaders, we must comprehend on the aftermath of those damages. I don't think we want war. We need peace. Peace is so precious. Do you know how loving one another and supporting one another, upholding and uplifting one another can be a key to a new Liberia? The human cost of war. Why should we look for war when we can strive for peace and bring our sisters and brothers on a round table for us to discuss our differences? But as leaders that lead Liberia, we want to let you know that there are other strategies that you can put in place. Let's take a look at transparency. Why can you change things a little bit? Human can change, provided if you choose to change yourself and adjust to the citizens' needs in terms of what they want and how they want things to be. Leaders, are you a good listener? When we speak the word listening, are you listening to your citizens? Are you listening to your people that you lead today? When I use the word people, those are the ones that put you into power to make their life to be a good one, to transform their life, to bring peace into their life, to protect them and give them security. How long, as Liberians, we're going to remain in what we do and how we do things? Can we change our mindset? We have come a long way to go back to 0. As we approach the June 7th tomorrow, let us be cautious, my fellow Liberians. It depending on our approach, how we going to march, and what are the motives towards the march tomorrow. Might cause disasters, might cause chaos, and our people going to suffer, and the economy going to go down the drain. But I recommend today that we should strive for peace. As leaders, we should do our utmost best to protect the citizens of Liberia. No matter what situation is, we should be protecting, and Liberians will get a sense of your leadership in terms of how you want things to be. Are you going to choose the right way to handle the protest, or do you want to choose the wrong way? As leaders of a country, it is a choice to choose between the two, to make the country to be at peace and that everyone can benefit from the resource from the country. Imagine what a conflict in Libya or another country in conflict is causing for the ordinary people who live in that country. The crops, land, and environment are destroyed. Do you understand that? destruction of food, store, shop, and property, and just name it. Inflation increased dramatically at times of conflict, leading to poverty for most of the population. People are forced to flee and become refugees or internally displaced. Much trade and small business became overseas instantly. Government stopped spending on social needs and divert funds to military hardware. Roads and means of travel are often dangerous. It can be difficult to get access for emergency relief at a time. Young people are forced to become soldiers. So we are reminding ourselves as we go towards the June 7, 2019. My fellow Liberians from all over, we understand people that outside Liberia are trying their best. Well, people that live in the country have to understand that coming together as one people and striving in the same direction can help us to stand as one family. Liberia is a very great country. But are we going to destroy Liberia because of power greed? Are we going to destroy Liberia because John Brown have it and I don't have it, so I had to destroy him? Are we going to destroy Liberia because of our so-called motive and selfish ambition to be in power, not giving chance to someone to be in power? Are we going after our people or the masses to destroy them because we can no longer understand where we stand? These are things that we should take into consideration. Imagine if all the military mind power and money that is being spent on war was spent instead on finding out a non-violent solution. What might be possible? We have to think on what we do. We understand the UN might come if we cause destruction, because the UN was created after World War II with leading efforts by the United States and key allies. We understand that. The UN was also set up to become committed to preserving peace through international cooperation and collective security. We understand that. Yes, the UN entire budget is just a tiny fraction of the world military expenditure, approximately 1.8. While the UN is not perfect and has many internal issues that need addressing, it is revealing that the world can spend so much on their military but contributing to the goals of global security and international cooperation and peace. So domestically, why we can organize ourselves and try to help ourselves? If you are a politician and you want to go to power before you help your people, what I recommend, why can you start helping them now? Why can you start putting the broken pieces together? We have our children. There is no good structure for education. What are you doing as a politician? Are you helping them? Or you only want to be in power to do the same thing as the current leader is doing? We must come together. My fellow Liberians, we have come a long way to go back to zero. Leaders, I challenge you as you go towards the June 7, 2019 protest. The Council of Patriots, we want you to have a good motive in terms of why you go in the street. If you're organizing people, you should have the capacity to maintain them, to make sure there is no destruction of lives and properties. Liberia have come a long way to go back to zero. We must come together as people, and we must discuss our differences. Who make the choice to be heard? Why do we spend more on war than on peace? Why should we continue to destroy ourselves and destroy the country that we claim that we love? Thoughts and prayer for peace tomorrow for Liberia. Peace. It does not mean to be in place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the middle of those things and still be kind in your heart. That goes to leaders. If you want the country to be in peace, then we urge you, leaders of Liberia, to protect your people. Give them the protection. Give them the security. Let the international world see that you are doing your best. Let the citizens be the one to incite themselves, but do what is right, despite the situation that is on now. Leaders of Liberia, we hold you accountable. You continue to hurt your brothers and sisters for no reason. Liberia is the same soil that I was born and raised before I came to America 18 years ago. And why in America? I've been going to the country of Liberia to help our children. But because of our ways, the way in which we do things, kind of block people from helping us to help our people back home in Liberia. So it does not affect only Liberia, it also affects people who outside Liberia. Peace. We have come a long way to go back to zero. Let's choose peace, not war. Let's choose peace, not war. Lead us from death to life, my fellow Liberians, from falsehood to truth. Lead us from despair to hope, from fear to trust. Lead us from hate to love, from war to peace. Let peace fill our hearts as we go to march for the June 7, 2019 protest. Our world, our universe, let us dream together. My fellow Liberians and fellow friends that watching and listening to what I'm saying. Let's pray together in time like this. Sometimes I be struggle. Sometimes our leader have failed us. Sometimes our leader is not doing the right thing. But should we begin to destroy one another? Can we work together in one unison? Can we work together in one love? Can we work together in peace? Can we show one another love? My fellow Liberians, there is one of your sons for the soil of Liberia speaking. If you are wise enough, you will listen to him based on the virtue of the fact that he is a Liberian born and raised from the soil. And then we can come together and pray together and solve our problem no matter what situation is. We cannot allow any division to be among us. To build one world of peace and justice for all. Then we will begin to realize the new Liberia as we proceed to chaos and disasters. We can prevent this now because we got few hours to prevent and possess peace, love, and stability with our brothers and sisters and our mothers and fathers. But leaders, you have the task to play a key role in bringing your people together. Then trying to bring destruction and counter-reaction that will bring the country back to zero. And repeating history as we proceed to our destiny. Where is the future of Liberia? Whom can we turn to? Protest is a solution. Is that true or is that false? I got a call from Liberia. You reach one place, one voice. Where you calling from? we can deeply say that peace is indeed the way to go. Deep peace of running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the Son of Peace to you. Healthy blessings celebrating together. I want you to understand. Let's take a short break. We will be right back. Thank you so much.
Hello, Liberians. Now listen to me. They come here again. Nobody should fool you and go demonstrate in the streets. We don't want no more war in Liberia. Liberians, Liberians, ladies and gentlemen, Liberians, Liberians, my fellow Liberians, they're starting again. They come here again. They're starting again. My people, they come here again. Yes, they come here again. When they see Liberia developing, that's the time they can bring war. That's what they can do. They don't want to see what they come in Liberia. They don't want to see Liberia developing. When they see it, then they want to start to air. When they come in, then they want to bring palava to stop it. They will not succeed. I said they will not succeed. Their evil plan they have. To destroy Liberia. To divide Liberians. To bring war in Liberia. Calling people to march. Calling people on the street to demonstrate. First fool is no fool. Second fool then you mumu. They did it before. They waste their time. Take care of people. They damage our country. They come here again.
Again, you're tuned in One Place, One Voice. It's where Liberia meet other nationalities around the continent of Africa to promote peace, love, and unity. My fellow Liberians, as we proceed to the June 7, 2019, I want us to remember that we have children that lose 40 years of education due to the war in Liberia. I want us to quickly think and reconsider ourselves in trying to focus on them by bringing peace to the land of Liberia. I want leaders to understand that you can bring the peace if you step out to bring your people together. Let us remember that our children need us. Their time has been wasted. What can we do to help them? Our mothers and fathers have gone through a lot. What can we do to better their life? Our economy of Liberia have gone down the drain. What can we do to bring it back together? Our agriculture, we are no longer self-sufficient. We depend on a lot of importation before we make it happen in Liberia. What can we do to make a difference in Liberia? Do we have any support system? As we go towards June 7, let us think that when we destroy Liberia, we are destroying ourselves and we are destroying what we got in Liberia. I want leaders to be a caution of your counter-reaction to your masses. The masses are getting on the street because they are angry. I want leaders to be wise, to have wisdom of understanding to approach a situation. You do not want to incite things that will lead us back to history. My fellow Liberians, let us get on our knee to pray wherever you are on the globe. Because when I see Liberia, I see disasters. I see repetition of history coming. But yeah, we can prevent that if we all come together to do the right thing. If we sense disasters and take precaution, we can do it. We can make it happen. We can come together in unison and we can kneel together. We can eat together. We can once more talk together. Different tribes. Do you know what it means for different tribes to sit on the same table and eating food together and doing things together and building the nation of Liberia. While we'll continue to waste our time and fighting for little of nothing. My fellow Liberians, we can make this happen. I want to let you know that we are people of dignity. I understand sometimes it's not easy. We try to envy and jealous one another. If it is not you, then if it is not me, it can be you. And then we go above one another, we begin to fight. But I want to let you know, as the June 7 continue to load, we can decade it. We can make advantage. If we as brothers and sisters come together and realize our error and see the problem and become solve the problem, we can make it. Oh, I want to let you know, Liberians, that war is not a solution. I want to let you know, my fellow Liberians, that going after one another is not going to be the solution. Your brother should be your brother. Your sister should be your brother. Your sister. Let us learn how to love one another. That's the only way we can solve our problem. Let's try to stay away from war. Let's bring peace, security, and safety for our people. Let's be proactive as leaders that we can bring safety for them. Let's make them feel comfortable, no matter what situation is, no matter the high corruption in Liberia. But as leader, we can make a change and try to bring our people together, no matter what situation is. We will continue to make sure that our people are well educated to things. We can start a Rise Liberian, teaching them, building a very good academy. That our teachers can go to the train to develop our children's minds. Why can we learn how to be on the positive side? Why should we continue to be negative all the time to one another? My fellow Liberians, my brothers and sisters that live in all worlds of war, I want to let you know that we can come together and we can make it happen. I work with so many people and I can tell you, I see the difference, I see communication, and I see understanding and resolving problems together. But guess what? We all have different backgrounds. Don't you know it's a good strategy that we can work together? Why should we go to create chaos for ourselves? Have you forgotten that we came from a 14 years of civil war? Liberians, have we forgotten so quickly? Let us try to treat one another right. Citizens, treat leaders right. Leaders, treat citizens right. And we can come together and put our broken pieces together as Liberians. Let us not repeat. We have come a long way to go back to zero. It is not a good feeling that families, friends, children, the youth are looking up to us when we should be developing their minds and make sure they have the freedom, creating extra programs that they can look up to leave the street. And yet we have confidence among ourselves as Liberians. And the world is watching. What are we doing to put ourselves together? Are we establishing love for one another? Are we protecting one another? Are we coming together in the round table to discuss peace? Or we just want to go for chaos? Because we might have the experience of the 14 years of a war. So we can use that prior knowledge to destroy and loot for stores and cause disasters. We have come a long way to go back to zero, my fellow Liberians. As we prepare to go for that June 7 protest, I want to let you know that we can do it very professional. I also want to let you know the Council of Patriots understand that let us be responsible and let us be very wise in our judgment. Let us maintain the crown. Let us be peaceful because the world is watching the protest tomorrow. The way you present yourself, that's how you're going to be seen out there in the world. We do not want to wash our clothes into the world. My fellow Liberians, I urge you to come together, have a common understanding, to have a resolution of what we are going through. We understand there's a battle. We understand the current situation is not easy. We understand the masses is suffering. We understand they are angry because they want to react because they are angry. As leaders in the country, what can we do to protect them? What can we do to encourage them? Why, leaders, can we bring justice to our people in Liberia? Why we continue to ignore our people cries? The Liberians are suffering is a fact, and we understand that. It's leader position to come in to be very transparent and giving accountability and hold people to task to make sure to do things right in Liberia. Why should we continue to be going against one another? The brother is moving up, so I'm jealous, I envy. I got to bring it down. Why can't we erase that barriers that we got among us? Oh, he doing positive, so oh, you know what? I'm not going to like him. Why can't you put your hand on your brother to uplift your brother when he's doing good? Why would you have that kind of a negative mentality towards one another? These are the barriers that killing us Liberians. We got to change our attitude. We got to change our mindset for us to do the right thing. Life is very great, but we control life. We shouldn't let life control us. Despite our current situation, despite the leader is not doing the right thing, we understand that. But can we be very peaceful to make sure that our people shouldn't be destroyed? My fellow Liberians, this is my last and final saying to you. Take peace or take war. But I strongly believe that war is not good for us, because it's going to destroy lives, it's going to destroy property, and it's going to make a country to go back to square one. We got peace, but it is up to us to maintain the peace and stability, or it's up to us to lose the peace and stability. Choose for yourself. But I want to let you know, we have come a long way to go back to zero. Look at our children. They look up to us. As leaders, we should be thinking how we can put a structural educational system together for our children to benefit from. We should look in the street for those who can afford to eat food, for those who don't have no job. These are things we should waste our time and trying to provide avenue for them to take them off the street. We can find a soccer team. We can try to find something that a youth and children can look up to in Liberia. It is hard and it is downhearted that Liberia continue to go like this. It hurt our feeling. Some of us, we want to come to give help to Liberia. We can't even come because we feel safety is not, up to date in Liberia. It hurt our heart. Again, my fellow Liberians, I wish you success tomorrow. As you go on the street to march, I want to let you know, be caution. We're going to pray for you. There is nothing we can do. We pray for our Liberians, and we just want to make sure that all Liberians understand. Mothers, father, please hold back the children. I'm talking about 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, up to 15. Please hold them back from not getting in the street, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We cannot underestimate anything for tomorrow. We do not know the selfish motive of those so-called politicians want to bring in. As we speak, we don't even know what the government is doing and trying to kind of react to the protests. There are so much that going on, but all I can let you know tonight is for you to be very careful and know how you're jumping on the street. You got to watch around and you got to know where you're moving. You have to know your direction tomorrow. We pray for you, and we pray that God bless Liberia, God bless America, God bless the international community, God bless ECOWAS to proceed with caution to make sure that our people are very safe during the protest. We strongly believe that there's going to be peace tomorrow and stability with God help and God intervention. Again, I thank you so much, and I love you all, and I wish you the best tomorrow. Thank you, and I'll see you again. Thank you.
listen to me. They come here again. Nobody should fool you and go demonstrate in the streets. We don't want no more war in Liberia. Liberians, ladies and gentlemen, Liberians, my fellow Liberians, they're starting again. They come here again. They're starting again. My people, they come here again. Yes, they come here again. When they see Liberia developing, that's the time they can bring war. That's what they can do. They don't want to see who they come in Liberia. They don't want to see Liberia developing. When they see it, then they want to start to air. When they come in, then they want bring palava to stop it. They will not succeed. I said they will not succeed. They will not succeed. Their evil plan they have. They will not succeed.